Good morning, Year 4. Welcome to your history lesson for this week. It's Thursday, the 4th of February, 2021. Your LO today is to write a report on the curse of King Tut's tomb. You might remember last week we saw a snippet of a newspaper talking about Lord Carnarvon's death. And newspapers are a really useful historical source. They tell us lots of information about people, what happened and when, and how people felt at the time. So pause the video while you're writing down the date and LO on a fresh page. The first job any reporter has to do is gather information. I'm going to show you information about this curse because that's what we're going to be writing about. Last week in English we talked about whether it might or might not be true that there was a curse, and you would have had your own opinion. Today we're going to imagine we're reporters, and reporters' job is to make things interesting and get people excited about things. So let's have a look at some of the rumours about this curse again. Just 2 weeks before this, when it says this, it means Lord Carnarvon's death. A writer of popular romantic novels, Marie Corelli, had written, "The most dire punishment follows any rash intruder into a sealed tomb." And from this, the rumour of the curse of Tutankhamun's tomb gathered momentum. Gossip spread quickly and rumours of the curse began to emerge. Now, newspaper writers would have been a big part of this because what they do is they get hold of rumours and people's fears and they make them into stories because that's really interesting to read about. So the first one in the black box, it says, "At the moment of Carnarvon's death, the lights went out all over Cairo. At the same time, his terrier in England howled and dropped dead." And it's made a mistake, the book. It says his pet canary, not Carnarvon's though. It's Howard Carter's pet canary was swallowed by a cobra, the same snake that was depicted on the pharaoh's brow on the mask of Tutankhamun. So we've already got the three rumours there. And then you remember we saw lots more about Carnarvon's brother dying, an Egyptian prince being shot dead, an American who'd been at the tomb dying of a cold, Arthur Mace dying before the tomb had been cleared. He was one of the team of archaeologists. A French Egyptologist dying from a fall after seeing the tomb. And of course the mark on the mummy's face, which matched exactly the same spot where Lord Carnarvon was bitten fatally by a mosquito. So we've got lots of information for the journalists to spin a nice interesting story from. So I've written here a story and I want you to try and find the features of my report. So I've pretended to be a reporter here. And we've got to look for chronological report with time conjunctions. Big words there, but what does it really mean? Well, it means a report about how things happened in order, so chronological order, in time order. And time conjunctions are things like next, then, the next day, things like that. We're looking for a date because all newspapers must have a date to make them a valuable historical resource. We're looking for the 5 W's. I wonder if you can remember what those are. Who, what, when, where, and why. We're looking for an introductory paragraph. So the 5W introductory paragraph. A short final paragraph, a headline, you know about that. The name of the writer, and quotes. All right, so let's have a look through this and you can start spotting things as we go. April the 1st, 1923. Curse of Mummy Unravels by Miss Gordon. After Howard Carter opened King Tutankhamun's tomb in 1922, mysterious events have started to happen, including Lord Carnarvon's death. Many believe that an ancient curse is at work. First of all, a canary was eaten by a cobra. Not just any canary, Howard Carter's. Then Lord Carnarvon died of an insect bite, and his dog died at the same time. There were then 5 more tragic deaths of those associated with the tomb's opening. In a rare interview, Howard Carter stated that, there's a blank. Maybe we don't know what he said yet. When asked if anything strange had happened to him since the tomb was opened, he said, however, Lady Evelyn Carnarvon, who was there when the burial site was opened, believes the curse is real. She said, if any more tragedies occur, we will be forced to believe that the curse is genuine, but will we be able to undo it? Right, so let's have a quick go through. What did you spot? Well, hopefully you all spotted the date at the top. And the headline is The Curse of Mummy Unravels. Headlines often aren't proper sentences. You can see this should say The Curse of the Mummy Unravels. But we tend not to use the in headlines. We keep them nice and short. Then we've got my name, that's the writer's name. So we've already ticked off some things on our list here. So headline, writer and date gone. Okay, so what's this? A first paragraph. And let's check if I've actually managed to do this. Who? Yes. What? Yes, he opened King Tutankhamun's tomb. When? 1922. Where? Maybe I should have said in Egypt. I'm going to write a note there. Maybe I was assuming people knew where King Tut... I'm having trouble with my words today. Where King Tut's tomb was. I should be doing this in my green pen, really. Okay. Who, when, where, what? Ancient curse. Yes, that's what. And why? Because of mysterious events. All right, so it's all there apart from where. Okay, so I've done that one. Yep. Chronological report with time conjunctions. Okay, I can see them straight away first. Then. Okay, so I've got them. I could have added another one in here, so I could have made that better. Maybe I could have had finally or next. So I've done that. And what else do I need? Quotes. Now the quotes are missing, aren't they? We're going to have to do an interview or something to put those in. But there's space for them there. So a little star to remind me. And finally, the final paragraph, which is here, where I say what might happen in the future. Just like we did with our runaway slave report when we were talking about the Romans. So I'd like you to start your own report now. A little newspaper report for our history lessons about the curse of the mummy. And I want you to follow the same structure that I use, because that's what newspaper reporters do. That's how it's done. It's quite strict. So you have to have the date, the headline, the writer, your introductory paragraph. Okay, and we can see them here. So date, you can use the same date as me or something else in 1923. If any of you spot why I've used April the 1st, I'd be very interested to hear from you. Your headline, your name, not mine, and then your introductory paragraph. And I've told you what you need to include. Mention who, what, when, where, and why. Don't give too much detail at this stage. Your only job is to get your reader to want to read the rest of the article. If you want to, you can use this sentence starter I've just put up to help you write that introductory paragraph. So you must do this bit yourself. You could use this to help you with the introductory paragraph. So you can pause the video while you start to write your newspaper report. The next job is to choose 3 events that were apparently connected to the curse. Now, whether you believe in the curse or not, let's pretend that you're a reporter trying to get people a bit scared. So you go back to the beginning of the video, pick 3 things that you think made a good story. So I chose the canary and the death of Carnarvon, and was one more, wasn't it? Somebody got killed. You go back and choose the ones you think are interesting, and you're going to put those in, and you're going to use time conjunctions. So you're going to be saying, first this happened, then this happened, next this occurred. So first, then, next, or any other time conjunctions that you want to use, like finally, as a consequence. So have a think about those. I'll put some up on this next slide for you to look at, some time conjunctions to use as you go in chronological order through your report. So this will be after your introductory paragraph. So you will do your introductory paragraph, and then your 3 paragraphs will go underneath. And don't forget the basics, the punctuation. So pause this while you're doing that, or go back and forward in the video to look for things to help you write your report. So hopefully you have a date, headline, writer's name, introductory paragraph, who, what, when, where and why, and you have 3 events, very short, paragraphs with time conjunctions, choosing 3 of those things that we heard about that people thought was to do with the curse. Now we need some quotes from Howard Carter and Lady Evelyn. So usually I would call you up to the front of the class, one of you would sit there in the hot seat, and we'd all ask questions, but we're going to try and change it round today because we can't do that, obviously, but it might be even better this way because you get to be in the hot seat, every one of you, and I'll just ask the questions. Okay, so the first person I want you to be is Howard Carter. So think yourself into the mindset. You are a passionate Egyptologist. You spent your life looking for something and you found it, and now you have been able to give the whole world this amazing knowledge about King Tut's tomb, and you've been able to show the world these wonderful treasures. So you feel like a bit of a hero probably, and you're quite proud of yourself, and you don't really like the way that journalists like us are trying to make people think there's a curse. You think it's all coincidence that people died. So I'm going to ask you some questions. You are Howard Carter. I want you to think about your answers carefully. You can always pause the video while you're doing that if you want to. But let's go, let's have the interview. Mr. Carter, you don't believe in the curse. Why not? Strange things have happened to your colleagues. Has anything odd happened to you since opening the tomb? Why was it a good idea to disturb the tomb? Thank you, Mr. Carter. We're going to move on to Lady Evelyn now. Okay, so now you're Lady Evelyn. So remember, you were there with your father, Lord Carnarvon, who has died. Now, you might be feeling quite upset and maybe a bit paranoid about that. You believe in the curse. You believe that something strange is going on. You're okay, but lots of people around you are not. So I'm going to ask you some questions now, so get ready, get into role. You're now Lady Evelyn. Lady Evelyn, you believe in the curse. Why? What feeling did you have when Carter broke down the walls to the burial chamber? What do you think about your father, Lord Carnarvon's peculiar death? Okay, you've now created your own quotes to use in your newspaper article. So let's get it finished off. Okay, so you're going to use the quotes that you just said. You might not have written them down. Hopefully they're still fresh in your mind. So in a rare interview, Howard Carter stated that, and you might have said something like, "This cursed business is a load of rubbish." When asked if anything strange had happened to him since the tomb was opening, he said, what did he say? What did you say in your interview? However, Lady Evelyn Carnarvon, who was there when the burial site was opened, believes the curse is real. She told us, and again, you can put your quotes in. Okay, so these are the things that you said in the interview. You can use all of this. You can copy it out and just put in your quotes if you want to, or, as I would always prefer, you do your original work. Okay, you can see that I've put some fronted adverbials in, and I would like to see all of you doing the same thing. This helps the paragraphs flow, otherwise you just get chunks. When our writing flows, it's much more exciting to read. The final job you have then, when you've put your quotes in, is you are going to write a very short end paragraph where you think about what might happen in the future. So I said, if any more tragedies occur, we will be forced to believe the curse is genuine, but would we be able to undo it? Okay, so you can write something very similar to that, something original about your own thoughts. I mean, of course they can't undo it, unless maybe they should seal the tomb up again. Maybe you'll be saying, should we put back all the treasures? Should we return everything from the museum and cover it up again? Okay, so you put your own ideas in. So this is the end of your newspaper article. Once you've done these tasks, you've finished a very quick newspaper article about the mummy's tomb, which is brilliant for your history. And I look forward to seeing some of them, I hope. If you can send it in, as always, please do. Just take a picture and email it. The people in school will be able to show me as well. And I look forward to our next history lesson next week. Well done today. Take care.